I've been sharing, you know, the same type of posts on social media for a while now, man. At one point early on, it had picked up. Now it's just, But I notice you get two types of people, right? You get people that'll see what you've been doing along the way, and they'll have their ups and downs emotionally behind it. Then you just get trolls. Now, people will support it, people you never met, but then you get trolls. I don't really deal with trolls. Honestly, I use trolls for what I think they're intended for. On the days that I don't feel like, working out, I'll be wishing for a troll. Because on that day, I tend to have time. Now, I don't go and give a counter comment or a rebuttal to whatever they said, but I do go look at that profile. And I'll look and see if that's somebody that works out, or if they're the thing that they're criticizing that they've done. And if they haven't, thanks. It's like, appreciate it. I needed that drive. Because sometimes those people don't even have profile photos up there, or they do. And it's just like, well, how are you able to criticize on this? You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate the support from strangers. I've learned, personal opinion, this isn't, but a lot of the opportunities that was presented to me had come from strangers. But then there's the people I've known over the years, right? And at first, that was the group that was toughest to kind of deal with, because one, they see you do it. I share because I want people to know that things are possible, right? If you're in this group and you're trying to get your fitness level, to a point to where you want to just be able to do it every day, if you go and you tell me ain't enough time in the day, I got all these injuries, man, I got this going on, and I'm cool with you, I'm gonna be like, I don't believe that. I don't, because I've been able to do this as a permanent fixture in my life for over 25 years. Now, yes, I had that point to where I gained the weight, and I'll go into that a little later, but throughout most things, right? In Afghanistan, right? That's where the whole weight loss thing started. Before Afghanistan, it was just, I was doing it to be in shape, to be out here in San Diego in them streets, in them clubs, right? Working out on deployment can be, it's hit or miss. If you just had that set schedule, even though it's the longer hours and more stress, but I'm gonna work out, or you not for those reasons. Sometimes people hit deployments and it's when they're not working, they're gonna hit those ports, they're gonna do that. But nah, my deployments was different. I wanted to, get myself in excellent shape. I wanted to finish my school, all that. Being a single father, co-parent, going through a divorce, being a full-time student, transitioning from the military, working one job, going to another job, working two federal jobs, working on my doctorate, it was always there. So when people say you don't have time, I'll be like, well, look, here's a circuit. Here's what I do. Maybe if you try this. Now, on paper, I think I can give the information. That's just my personal opinion, right? On paper, I think I can make some money off this thing. I could scrap my whole social media, give it some time, and then come back and give you like a softer approach, which I don't believe in that. I got the space. I got the credentials. I've had my ISSA personal training cert for 13 years. I got it because I got tired of people trying to make me do, group stuff in PT in the Navy, and it didn't work. It ended up making them say, hey, you need to be a CFL. I got my nutrition cert because I wanted to learn, what it was. I had got it in 2013. A buddy of mine had put me on low carb in 2012. I said, man, it's science. I like it, right? And then I had met my girl not too long after that, and she's the nutritional, guru in this household, right? So we had even thought about that. I said, man, let me get my body in check. You make these keto alternative meals, we can get it. It's still up there, to be honest with you. Down the line, I had got my corporate wellness certifications because my HR footing, my credentials in that area. I like EAP programs. I like what they offer. I like that some gyms offer gym membership discounts. I like that some organizations have gym facilities at the organization. I like that stuff. I like smoking cessation classes and incentives behind that. You get an Apple Watch or a Fitbit if you don't smoke. I suggest certain things like a stand-up desk. You burn more calories in the desk. Drink more water. Go take a couple of laps around the office. Carve out a little bit of time with some of your coworkers. Y'all go for a little walk for lunch. Pack your lunch. You ain't got to go to the food court. So I got those certs for that reason. And at the end of the day, I am my own client. If my son ever decides to like take it seriously like that, I got him. But I post these for that reason. So here's a circuit. Here's what I do. It don't mean you got to do it, and it don't mean I'm gonna stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? So on paper, yeah, I think I'm worthy to post and talk about it. I just don't want to be one of those posters to like, hey, look, I'm about to start this. Let's do this, and then just start giving all that motivational, inspirational stuff when I haven't established a habit. Because when you do that, you grab people. You grab people that really they mess with you like that. They like you. Now you have the responsibility to stick to it, and some people don't. So I don't do that stuff because I don't know what's gonna happen. I've been doing it for a long clip, but here's a suggestion: use it as you must, and if you have any questions. Now, diets, how you eat. That's why I say it, right? To me, if you trying to diet, you like a tourist. You go there, you're gonna enjoy your trip, you going home. You do that diet, it don't work out, you going back to the way you was eating. Be a resident. You know what I'm saying? Eat like a resident. You plan on doing it and you sticking to it. This time around, how I'm feeling now, like physically, not the aesthetics, I'm keeping in low carb. I'm a phase in. I'm gonna give it about a month or two, but I'm gonna phase in my healthier snacks, maybe a couple of days a week. But I love how I'm feeling right now. I've been missing this, right? But what I've learned for me is when you eat a certain way, as long as you're honest with yourself, because let's be honest, some of us aren't. We will tell everybody what we're going to do. It don't work out. Next thing you know, it didn't work. So somehow you're supposed to offset years worth of bad habits, bad eating, drinking, sedentary lifestyles with 2 weeks of working out. You don't see the results you want. Now you giving up. No, you got to stick at it. You can't lie to yourself. I've been just low carb, right? I did that. Somebody put me on in 2012. I saw the results, especially after it usually takes me about 8 weeks to see a significant change with following the protocol of whatever that is. I've been just tuna. Yeah, I would never advise it because you can get mercury poisoning. But 2014, I think if I would have got a coach and some whatever else, I probably could have came from that appointment and did a show or something like that. I was just low carb for 2012 to like 2020. I've been just calorie deficit. I was doing so much cardio. If you remember, I was running the stairs that I had to get the carbs in. So it was a non-negotiable. I'm just paleo, carnivore. So for every one of those ways that I was eating, I was able to achieve the way that I wanted to look. I know how I want to look. You know what I'm saying? But if I see somebody that resembles the physique I want, I'm going to ask them what I need to do. But we're living in a weird time right now because it's like attack. I'm going to tell you at 45 years old, with the things I haven't been able to achieve for me in my lane, that stuff don't bother me when people try to attack it. Because I know the reasoning behind it. If I see somebody doing something that might be impressive, but I just for whatever don't agree with it, you won't even know. Because I just don't care to spread that. I had a dude the other day, I posted that I ate Chick-fil-A for the first time, the grilled chicken. I got 2 of them. This dude like, it's stupid to spend all that money on grilled chicken. Probably, but why is your hand in my pocket? That's the stuff people do. But I get the why because I remember being there, right? When I was 300 pounds, that was the worst time of my life. It was a real dark place, right? Especially emotionally and mentally, but you had never known because I like to have a sense of humor. I like to crack jokes with you, but I didn't feel well inside about, I was very insecure. I was very toxic. The things that people do to me now, I did to people that I didn't even have to. Thinking back, I didn't have to. I could have just shut up. But if I would walk into the birthing bathroom, I don't want to say, but the birthing bathroom, and I see a dude in there flexing, I'm 300 pounds, I'm like, put your shirt on, man. I was that guy. Why am I worried about him? He's proud of the physique that he's achieved, but I'm mad at him. I'm telling people, I remember telling people, man, you keep doing all that cardio, you're going to lose muscle. I'm different. I at one point was doing 3.5 hours of cardio on the stairs every morning. I was still ripped up. I don't know anybody else's science, but I don't believe that. I just told him that because I didn't want to see him keep doing cardio because I didn't do it. I used to make fun of people eating healthier. I used to tell people, man, you can't hold your liquor. I used to call people lame if they didn't drink. So I know why people come at me about it. And then when you see people overly posting fitness and educational stuff back then when I wasn't in school, I was 300 pounds, I would be like, okay, we get it. You did it. So I get why people do that to me, man. But at the end of the day, what are you known for? As a man, fellas, what's your reputation? Do you want to be known for somebody that's out here giving fake fitness advice? Starting stuff, stopping stuff, becoming somebody that's known for being unreliable? If you know me, like I say, people don't know me because I'm not out and about like that. If you know me, you might think I'm crazy. With the way that I started attacking education, the waking up early morning, the crazy stuff hanging around, doing on the court. Yeah, Mike crazy, man. Mike is built different. When in reality, I know what I'm capable of. And I think we're all capable of a lot of stuff. You just have to, you got to change some stuff around, man. You got to focus. You got to get away from certain people, and you can do the same thing. And that's the point of the videos, right? When I say, hey, man, yeah, you can do it. You can, right? It's just a matter of how invested, bad or good, you are in whatever that thing is that you're either trying to gain or let go, right? If you invested in your fitness in a more, let's just be honest, man. Like when it comes to life, man, a quality life. If you invested in your fitness, a more quality life, you're going to eat better. You're going to let that sauce go because you're invested in those things. But you invested in that sauce and that eating bad and those friendships that surround that stuff, you're going to keep doing it. There is no in-betweensies. I don't care what you say. You can't just dip and dodge like that for everybody. Some people can. Some people, at one point I had it to where I was still eating right and I was still working out, but I was still drinking. But I still wasn't reaching max potential with that. I was just, and then I'm taking away from the quality stuff when I'm doing that. And then some people you just don't know. You do the bad things long enough, it can become an addiction. Right? You got to look around. You got to look around at the people and how they're carrying themselves. So that's why I share. I think I'm qualified to. I think I'm a credible source. You ain't got to like it. And I know it ain't my tone. People been saying that over the years. That's your tone, man. That's how you be saying it. You be yelling at people. But they used to love C.T. Fletcher. He used to be like, F you if you ain't working. But if I say, hey, you don't want to be overweight, don't do overweight stuff, man. You shouldn't say it like that. It's because I'm a regular person. It is. It's because somebody has seen the progression along the way. And I ain't stopped. I ain't trying to give up as long as I'm here. If I can't run the stairs, I'm going to run. If I can't run the stairs, I'm going to walk. If I can't walk the stairs, I'm going to crawl. If I can't crawl, I'm going to roll. That's how I rock with it.